Hi everybody, and happy 6th day of Halloween. I hope everybody's having a great October and Halloween season so far and doing very well on their 31 days of Halloween movie challenges. We had vampires as our theme today, so let's check out what we saw today. Okay, we saw Vampires versus the Bronx. I saw this on Netflix and I thought it was going to be a cheesy, corny vampire movie. It came out this year, 2020, and IMDb is at a 5.1 out of 10. And a group of young friends from the Bronx fight to save their neighborhood from vampires. And they have a few vampire references in it. There was a kid sitting in the park at night reading Salem's Lot. There's also Blade in here. That was about the only vampire references from other movies that I really saw in this movie. There might have been others and I missed it, but those are the only references that I caught. The vampires are okay. Now this movie is PG-13, so don't expect it to be super bloody, and it wasn't really cheesy and corny like I thought it was either. This is basically made for younger kids or somebody that wants to watch this stuff but not really violent. But the vampires are okay, but they're not like super great. Method Man is the priest or father, whatever you want to call it. I'm pretty sure his name was like Father Johnson or Jackson or something like that. I don't remember. And so he's like the priest in this. There might be other famous people in this along that lines, but Method Man is the only one that I recognize, because how can you not miss Method Man? And I looked at the IMDb and I didn't recognize anybody else's name, so there might be other people that are famous. I'm not aware of them. But Method Man playing a priest was kind of interesting. And they put holy water in water balloons. Well, I thought that was kind of interesting. Now I know in Lost Boys they put them in squirt guns. So they used water balloons in this one. I can't say that I remember any other vampire movie using water balloons. So I thought that was, they may have, and I'm just not thinking of it, but I thought the water balloons, it's usually squirt guns. And because I want to say squirt guns was in another movie as well, but I can't think what it is off the top of my head. But Dusk Till Dawn had squirt guns with holy water as well, if I remember correctly. But yeah, they use water balloons in this one, which is interesting. Also, another like vampire lore that I've never seen explored before. But I don't really watch a lot of vampire movies, so this may have been explored in another movie and I just not seen it. But when you're close to a vampire, the holy water bubbles. So they kind of use that. It also hurts them, but it also helps detect where they're at. I've never seen that explored before either. At least in the more popular. I've seen more of the more popular vampire movies, not kind of more of the B. Once it gets like in the B movies, I usually stay away from the B movie vampires. I don't know, it's just B movie vampires are really not a thing for me. But the more popular vampire movies I've seen, they also go to Blade. They pop in the movie Blade and use that as research, which is interesting. So Blade is another vampire reference in this. I was kind of shocked about the Salem's Lot. This is definitely not as cheesy like I thought. I really thought it was going to be something like the Babysitter movies, just stupid, cheesy fun. But this is more made for kids. Now, I wouldn't say super young kids could watch this, but older kids, probably like preteen, maybe 10 and above. I think it was PG-13, but you know your kids and what they can handle. If they like watching horror movies, just and you don't want a lot of like gore and violence and nudity in it, then this is definitely something. Pre-watch it first, I would say, and see how your kids can handle it. But it's not gory at all. There is no nudity. There is no language that I can recall. There is a bunch of preteens that are the heroes in this movie, so you kind of follow along with them. There is a little bit of gang stuff in it, but they don't really show the extent of it. So maybe it's something that you can use to kind of warn kids that this is something that's real. If you're maybe close to an area like that, you could probably use it because it's not extreme like a lot of gang movies, but there is gang in this. It's not over the top. It's not like more, it's kind of like real life gang stuff, just without all the violence and stuff. There is a little bit of violence in it, but you don't see blood going everywhere and what. There is like using guns and stuff like that. But like I said, you don't see the blood and stuff like that. But I wasn't all overly impressed with this movie. Maybe if I was watching, let's say, if my son was younger, because now he's 15, he'd probably see this movie as silly, because he can watch more my type movies, but he's used to watching my stupid movies. So I could see him making fun of this movie, but he's been around horror for a while, so I don't see him at 15 being super impressed with this movie, but maybe somebody younger or somebody that's just getting introduced into horror, I could see maybe liking this movie, especially without a ton of violence, ton of gore, there's no nudity, stuff like that. Oh, they also use a little bit of Haitian lore in this, just a tad bit. And there was somebody that was a Haitian, I think I'm saying that correctly, that ends up joining the group, and this person just automatically believes them, and there's like, oh, wait, you believe us? And she's like, I'm Haitian, I've been preparing for this my whole life, kind of thing. It's like, this is normal. So I thought that was kind of neat. This is on Netflix. It just got added on the 2nd of October. And like I said, maybe if you have like a younger kid or brother or sister or something like that, and you want to watch some scary movie with them, this would probably be well appropriate for them, as long as they can handle a little bit of violence, just not a lot. It's not over the top. The vampires themselves are not really super scary. So this is definitely something you could probably share with a younger member of your family. I give it a 4 out of 10 because I was just kind of expecting it to be more cheesy, and I didn't know it was PG-13 when I picked this movie, so I was expecting a little bit different. I mean, it's not bad for what it is. It is definitely a good movie to watch with a younger kid, but unless you kind of like those type of movies, this is more aimed for younger kids. But tomorrow, our theme is going to be sea creatures. Now that is one of my favorite subgenres. So it is going to be very hard to find one I have not seen before. But I will start researching it and see what I can find. So hopefully I can find some sea creature movie I have not seen before. If not, we'll be revisiting something that I have seen. But sea creatures, one of my favorite subgenres, will be tomorrow. So everybody like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and happy Halloween, and see you tomorrow. Bye.